Hi guys, today I'm here to just describe or to explain about molecular movements, especially one most molecular movement is active transport. Already you know about what is osmosis and diffusion. Actually all these are molecules means usually there is a natural this thing molecules that ions will always move from its higher potential to lower potential. So that is very easy process. Okay, it is easy but it happens very slow. But here this transport is called active transport. Active transport always happens against the gradient, against the means not from high concentration to low concentration. It is just opposite, from low concentration to high concentration. So you can say that it happens against the concentration gradient. Here the molecules you can see in red dots. So here the molecules are moving from its low concentration to high concentration and through a semi-permeable membrane. You know very well all living organisms body or cells are having semi-permeable membrane. The meaning itself it says that semi. It will not allow every particles to in and out. So certain particles they are allowed. So in osmosis and diffusion partially or you can say without anybody's force or anybody's help, molecules can simply diffuse, is it? So, and it will make the balance from both the sides, outside and inside. The osmosis or diffuse make the balancing of that molecules. But here already there will be ions, but still they need little more ions. So by osmosis of diffusion it is not possible. So we need, see, anything we are doing with the against the and concentration gradient, we need energy. So you know very well that in lower class you have studied who is providing energy. Yes, inside the cell organelle called the mitochondria. So the mitochondria help to produce ATP, and this ATP will convert into ADP. So ATP triphosphate. So this triphosphate, in that one phosphate molecule break, and that breaking leaves some energy. So like that a lot of ATPs will be break. So that energy is utilized by, there are some special proteins in the plasma membrane. So they are called carrier proteins. Okay, so these carrier proteins use this energy and bind with the molecules from its lower concentration and just push into the higher concentration gradient. So you can see what is happening. See, molecules are moving towards that protein. They are called a protein carrier or carrier proteins. So the carrier protein attach with the molecule and then just pull into the inside or outside, both the side the molecules can be moved. It depends on its use or it needed. So actually the definition of active transport you have to keep in mind. It always happens against the concentration gradient, and what is used? Energy. Definitely energy is needed, and the ions cross the cell membrane or plasma membrane. So these terms should be compulsory in this definition. You can add the term this carrier protein also if you want, but these terms are important while giving the definition. So this is the cell and these are the mitochondria. So mitochondria is produce what? ATP. So the energy, it is compulsory energy is needed for this process. See, just I had listed some characteristics of active transport as we discussed. What are the substances are transported against the concentration gradient, and it is fast process, that keep in mind. It is not very slow process, it is very fast process. You know, in our body sometimes the molecules are needed emergency or very urgent. That time definitely we can't depend on diffusion or osmosis. We have to go with the active transport. Requires cell energy. So for this, cell energy is compulsory and need a helper transmembrane protein. I told now that carrier protein is compulsory, is necessary for this active transport. See here examples, means you can say over the active transport actually used by the plants and animals. Here see, for mineral ions, you know that the plants are in the soil and they are taking minerals from the soil. So the root hairs diffusion or osmosis will happen automatically, but certain ions it need more concentration. So that time active transport help to gain it. And sugar transport, leaves already that what is that photosynthesis, starch will be produced. This starch must be compulsory, should be transported everywhere, is it? So but every cells there will be already sugar molecules. So by diffusion it may happen for little bit amount, but later what happens, it needs more amount should be transported to everywhere. So active transport help it. Then stomatal opening, I'll show the pictures also. See here, these are the root hairs, how that molecules enters through the root hairs and to the cells. Here you can see this, see in the leaf that sugar is produced or starch is produced, and later it transported through this phloem vessels. See here, this is stomata. You know stomata opens and closes with the help of water. So water always move from its higher concentration to low concentration. So inside that guard cells there should be more solute particles. Okay, then only the water can enter into the guard cells. So that happens by this active transport. Say by active transport, K plus ions are enters into the cells. So potassium ions are there. So there will be more solute. So definitely the water moves from its higher concentration to low concentration. That means less solute particle to more solute particles. So the water enters inside the guard cells, and the water means guard cells will enlarge, bulge, and that makes the stomata to open. See how is in animals. See, you know that in our messages in our full body is transported by nerve cells. So in these nerve cells there will be positive and negative charging happens in between. So this positive and negative charging is just because of that potassium and sodium ions in and out of the nerve cells. So that is also against that gradient. So active transport is necessary. Then nutrient absorption, you know inside our small intestine villi are there. So villi need to exchange means want to absorb the ions. So already inside the villi, inside the blood cells already the nutrients little bit will be there, but still it want to be carried. So it also happens against the concentration gradient. And certain molecules like the plasma membrane, you know it is like it will not allow every particles to inside. So that time carrier protein helps to pass certain molecules. Here you can see the sodium potassium pump. See here that molecules are enters and going out, potassium and sodium. When potassium molecules are enters inside, see that concentration gradient there will be more positive charge. Okay, so thereby the positive charge attained. Immediately there will be negative charge as soon as they go out of the nerve cells. See here, this is nutrients absorbed inside the gut. The nutrients are forced to absorbed by this into the bloodstream against the concentration gradient. So yeah, this is not only in very big level, in between the cells also always that active transport helps the passing of the molecules. See diffusion, how I told now, always we can't depend on this diffusion and osmosis. See diffusion is a slow process. The reason is diffusion is a slow process and low surface area volume. Sometimes the ratio won't be correct. Okay, always diffusion low surface area and volume ratio, that surface area and volume ratio will not be matched. For diffusion they need more surface area, then only more diffusion. That time it will be will not work. Next, a lack of direct environmental contact. All body is not directly contact with the environment. So that time then only diffusion happens. Next, high energy demand. Sometimes our cells need more energy. So more energy, the more oxygen and glucose should be transported very fast. So we can't depend on the diffusion. Next, membrane permeability limitation. This I told now that cell membrane are not allow every particles to enter or go inside or outside. So that this forcefully that transport is necessary. So it happens always against the gradient. Next, these terms compulsory you must remember while learning the active transport. How to define active transport? Then what are carrier proteins? And against energy grade means energy is needed and concentration gradient. And ATP. ATP, you know, adenosine triphosphate, that are called coins, energy coins produced by mitochondria, the cell organelles inside the cells. I hope you understood this part very well. If you have any doubt, you can put in comment box. Thank you.